Latitude, give it up for the wonderful David Morgan.
Hello. Hi, everyone. You well?
It's so lovely to see you. How are you doing?
I'm really good. I mean, I'm at work currently. Not to lie to you all, I am legitimately hosting the comedy tent over there. Someone is currently on stage. And then the moment they come off, I have to go and get someone else on, and I'll be back. They're really making me work hard today.
So this is not only the first live show, but the most chaotic one we've done so
chaotic.
far. How's it going?
Oh, we're having I bloody love Latitude Festival. This is my 9th Latitude, and it's really lovely. Like, it's super nice. Like, you come for the festival, it doesn't really matter what's on, because you know you're gonna have a good time, and you find stuff out. It's my favorite thing where you like wander aimlessly into a tent, and then they become your favorite act you've ever seen in your entire life. It's a really lovely kind of charcuterie of a festival. I really enjoy it.
And you're in charge of the comedy at the moment, the huge comedy stage. Yeah, you're comparing all day today. How's it gone so far? What's
really
the crowd
fun.
like?
What I love about this festival, again, it takes comedy seriously. It's the biggest comedy arena in Europe. So it's 2,500 people. The lineup is always incredible. And people spend the day in there and ignore the obelisk entirely, which is kind of lovely. It's a great place to be.
Well, it's so good to have you. The whole idea of this show is you've got 10 songs, just 10 tracks. It's your My Pride playlist. So we're really excited to hear these. So, David, come on, what's your first track?
So I am a stand-up comedian, and I was weirdly in Magic Mike Live. Which is, you know, the film Magic Mike with Channing Tatum. There was a live version in London, and I opened that show in 2018. And I didn't take my top off. This isn't an unflattering top. I stayed dressed throughout. But in that show, I worked with loads of dancers. And one of the dancers, her best friend, was in Ariana Grande's girl kind of posse on stage in her tour.
Really?
Yeah, so this was Ariana Grande. So this song is Break Free by Ariana Grande. And they are a fantastic non-binary performer. And it was the first time an AMAB person was in like the girl group of a girl superstar. So you had this gorgeous dancer dancing with men in the same way that the women were dancing with men. And it was gloriously queer. I didn't realize the freedom and the joy it gave me until I saw it. It's one of those things, like, I came out in 1999, and even then it was a very different time to how it was when I saw them in 2019. And the world changed entirely, and I hadn't even allowed myself the idea to imagine that you'd have a queer thing happening at a Popstress's gig. And when Ariana performed Break Free, it was like a mini gay pride. Like, there were rainbow flags everywhere. It was just exuberantly queer and utterly beautiful. And this song weirdly speaks to queer people, I think, in a strange way. The idea of breaking free, like, this isn't what I want, this is what I'm going to take.
It's become kind of like one of our anthems, isn't it, for the LGBTQ plus community?
Yeah, it's like the Gen Z YMCA. Oh no, take that back. That's Hot to Go by Chaperone, but because it's got the movements. But there is it speaks to queer people in a way that I don't think even we could articulate. Like Shares Believe. Like, there's certain songs that we just take. We just steal them.
We own.
Yeah, they're ours now. And if you go to a gay pride and it's not played, you're like, I'm so sorry. I think you missed something. And I absolutely love it. I think it's just got the way it announces itself, that and you're like, oh, I have to get to the dance floor now. Like, I need to do it.
All right, David's first pick. Give him a round of applause. We're doing My Pride playlist live here from Latitude on this wonderful podcast stage. Yeah. David Morgan's with me. It's very comfortable up here, isn't it?
It's really nice. Yeah, we've got sort of air conditioning, which I'm so sorry.
I do feel a bit like
fancy.
I feel a bit like Michael Jackson in the Earth Song video with this fan.
Oh my God! If it was a proper wind thing, that'd be amazing. My hair doesn't move though, so.
Let's go straight onto your second song. I know you're super busy.
Yeah,
and you're
it's
about
fine.
to go back onto the stage. So what are we going to have next?
So my next track is by a hip-hop artist called Kevin Abstract. It's a song called Joyride. I never learned to listen to hip-hop or rap that much when I was growing up, because growing up it was a genre of music which didn't take kindly to me. So like the use of the F-slur within the songs, the misogyny and homophobia that was in the songs never really spoke to me. And then there's a group called Brockhampton, and in there are queer people of colour singing about their queer experience using that music, using hip-hop and rap. And Kevin Abstract is one of them. And his album, Arizona Baby, is a masterpiece. It's angry, it's grasping at trying to find a place to be in a place which has told them that they don't want them. I grew up Catholic. It's very difficult when you see everyone getting so much joy and happiness out of something that is actively telling you shouldn't be there. And this song, Joyride, is about the idea of getting away from the friends that would judge you with someone who is like you and never wanting to stop. But also having to keep it secret. The lyrics are poetry, and it speaks to something inside of you. There is something I love about music, which is when they say something which you feel but do not have the words to articulate. And it speaks to something about the idea of having to hide it, wanting not to, and getting it for a brief glimpse, and like being able to do it when you're away, and then having to instantly pull back, hide everything about yourself, and the pain of that, because every time you do it, every time you come back to hiding yourself, it hurts even more because you know what you're giving up until you finally can't do it anymore and you have to tell everyone.
I was going to ask, when you look back on those times, you grew up in the West Midlands, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up Solihull, yeah.
And when you grew up at that time, how do you feel now when you look back on that period? We have lots of people on this show who say the difficulty of not being able to come out and growing up and coming of age and stuff has made them. Other people say it haunts them.
I think it made me at the time, but then you look back at the stuff you've lost, and then that haunts you once you've done your healing. So I came out in 1999, thank you, Dawson's Creek, and I didn't really come out. I more confirmed a rumor. I was 15, and I couldn't not anymore. It was the case, and the unburdening of that was amazing, because I was really bullied at school, which is why I do comedy now, because therapy is expensive, and it took the power away from them, and that was delightful, because they couldn't yell at me for being gay anymore because it had no power, because I wasn't embarrassed anymore. It was like, yeah, you're right, I am, and what are you going to do? Like, it's so good. I'm happy I did it. I'm so happy I did it, because I love being gay. It's the best. The first 18 years are a slog, but then we make up for it afterwards, and 0 accidental babies, which is amazing. I don't have to bring them to a festival. So,
because lots of people have.
It's a lovely family-friendly festival. But I mean, in the comedy tent, it's fun because so many people bring their kids, and I make sure that they know that we will not be editing our language for them because it's their own fault.
I love it.
But yeah, so
okay.
Yep.
Brilliant. We've got, I've just been told,
you've got
10 minutes until you've got to race over.
Yeah.
So we go straight into RuPaul's the next person on the list. We've got a couple of fans.
Putting this list together was weird. I went just on gut. And truthfully, there is no song that gets me more pumped up than RuPaul's Call Me Mother. I don't know if you've heard it, but it is this weird patter song. It's sort of rap, but RuPaul doesn't sing or rap, really, let's not lie. It is just this weird, like, patter song, and it does something. I feel like there's proof that you are born gay, because you play this to a gay person, and they are energized. It's like you put back our electrolytes. It is such a weird, and the words make no sense.
No, and the moves just happen.
And you just have to vote. There's nothing, you can't not.
No.
It's sort of illegal. If you want to, like, If you played it into a room and we'll just move and you'll know which ones the gays are. It's quicker than gaydar.
And also, the thing is, RuPaul, and you'll realise this, was there before anybody else. I mean, when I was growing up in like 1993, RuPaul was doing duets with Elton John, was out there, was in drag. This is decades before Drag Race.
Being a queer performer and knowing the homophobia that I got when I was on television being outwardly gay, the idea of RuPaul doing that in America as a black person in the 90s, the strength, the power, the resolve that they have is absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And then to create comedy and humor out of it and not just become like a bitter husk of hate and to bring joy into it. Because like RuPaul's Drag Race, it makes me so happy. It's the closest I get to enjoying sport.
It's gay sport, isn't it?
It is. Like RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2, when Bimini didn't win.
Oh, yeah.
I had to go for a walk to clear my mind. I legitimately stood up and went, referee! I have never been more angry at anything. And so I sort of understand boys and their random emotion generator football. I get it now. I was so annoyed.
David Morgan's with me. We're doing a My Pride playlist live here at Latitude. We're going to get to Kylie Minogue next. I just want to quickly pick you up on something you said a moment ago about when you hit the big time, you're on TV shows, and you got abuse. Can you, tell me more about that?
It was so funny. So, like, I've done a little bit of telly on ITV2. Like, I've been on telly a little bit, and then the biggest job I ever got was I hosted a series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here Now. So the spin-off show to the ITV show. So I was on ITV2, and I was just on there to like poke fun. I loved the show. I was in Australia for 22 days, and there was a moment, I got kind of hate on Twitter, but that's fine. You get that whenever you're on the telly. And I got pulled over by the lawyer of the show, and they were like, just to let you know, David, you have had a couple of death threats. Are you okay with that? And I was like...
Death threats?
Yeah, like actually, I was like, it's fine. I'm currently in Australia, and if someone's going to kill me, I'm guessing they're not going to take the time to write. And it was just, there's this moment when I annoyed someone so much by just being gay on television. I'm specific about it. I am rude. I am a bit crude. I'm horny sometimes, and we'll talk about it. But I'll always match the straight men on the show with me. I'll only ever go as far as they go. That's my kind of barometer. So I'm not seen as too outrageous. I'll always kind of keep it on their level. And I had been doing that, but I was being like threatened because I did it on television.
Why do you think someone would have that much of a problem?
I honestly don't know. I can't ever really understand homophobia or transphobia or any kind of hatred because it's so tiring. I don't understand how you have the time to actively seek it out and then tell people how angry you are. I wish they had a friend that they could tell. And I think it stems from sometimes not being able to do it yourself, like the anger of like, I just wish I could be as happy as them if only I could step over that barrier and get it. And so the anger of not being able to, I think it's so sad for them.
Did it hurt? I mean, silly question, or could you just go, look, they're nutters?
Do you know what?
Did it affect you?
Yes, it does, but there's coping mechanisms. I always say to friends of mine who are straight, and especially straight white men who don't really experience it in the same way. There are trials and tribulations for them, but it is different. So I explain it's like the first time you get called a slur from a passing car, it hurts. The 10th time, it hurts a bit less. The 750th time, you've learned to brush it off. Yeah. And that's not okay. It's not okay we have to do that, but we have done it. So it's a case where I can put it somewhere where I can shrink it. Anyone who's that sad, I needn't worry about them. But it does. There's still an element where, you still look over your shoulder before you hold your boyfriend's hand. You still check to make sure the country you're going on holiday to doesn't imprison you for life.
Because it's not the same out there, is it?
No,
there are...
and, I can't go to the Maldives. Like, it's a thing you have to think about. And I think we should tell people this happens to us, but also we don't want to ruin the dinner party. We've just handed out the after eights. No one wants to hear about you being called a puss from a passing car. But it does happen. I think women know this. I mean, look, I'm talking like it happens to women all the time. You don't bother telling people because I'm bored of talking about it, But they do need to know.
David, this is so showbiz. I'm just being told by your producer you've got 2 minutes now.
I have.
So we're going to go. This is so. He's going straight over to the comedy tent, then coming back. Tell me about Daft Punk one more time.
So when I came out in 1999. The first gay club I went to was the Nightingale in Birmingham, which is...
We've been there. There's people in the audience that have been there. There we go. Alan Carruthers has been there.
Running away to Birmingham is the best thing living in Solihull had for me. I could get to Solihull in 20 minutes. It was amazing. And the Nightingale, this song, I love dance music. I love Daft Punk. And One More Time was a song that was coming out. And I would dance my little Twinkie bottom off to this song, and it made me so happy. There's something about it, again, which just, the BPM gets into you. You can't not dance to it, and it feels fancy because it's French. And you want to be fancy.
One more question. What was it like growing up and experiencing it in the West Midlands, coming out, going to the LGBTQ plus bars? Where did you like, I mean, the Nightingale do burgers. It's amazing, that nightclub.
I am a proud Midlander. I bloody love being from the Midlands. It is the best place in the UK because we don't bloody go on about it. All you Southerners go on about how wonderful the South is, and the Northerners talk about how awful the South is, and Midlanders are just like, sorry, babe, you've got to go through here to get anywhere fun. But because of that down-to-earth nature, the audiences, the people, they will take you as they find you. It's the kindest, it's the nicest. I think also the fact that so much immigration happened there means it's just the most open place to be. I bloody love them. It's the best. Don't go. We don't want you there. But it's bloody great. I love the Midlands.
Okay, the end of part one. Give it up for the fabulous David Morgan.
See you in a minute. I'm hosting the comedy tent at the same time because I don't know if you noticed, Latitude, not great on organisation.
How do you, a question about what you're doing on stage. You said to me that some comedians can be booked and you're like, okay, they've got 40 minutes and for some whatever reason, 12 minutes later they walk off and you've got to go on and feel. How do you do that?
Okay, so I'm neurodivergent, and one of the good things about being neurodivergent is I am generally useless until a crisis happens, and then I could run the planet somehow. So there is something about the fear. Like, it's not something I haven't not done. Like, I do stand up, I know what I'm doing, but like someone will break, and I'll be like, well, I know all of a sudden, because I don't have time to think about it, I know exactly how to do everything. So there is an element where I'm like, oh, I'm good now. I can do things. And so it's filling. And also, I love being here. I'm also used to a festival tent. Generally, the reason people don't do their time is because doing a comedy gig in a tent is so different from doing it on stage.
How is that? How different?
It's at 3 p.m. Secondly, everyone's sat down and there's so much else going on. And because you're so high up and the tent is so big, you can't hear the laughs in the same way. So it can absolutely throw you. You feel like you're doing not as good as you actually are doing. Yeah. And so you just power through. And people are here to have a good time. And I think you can also panic. And if you rattle through your material too quickly, then you're off stage.
Right.
So it's not the end of the world. But it was fun, and I had a nice time. But when I did come off stage after that one, where I'd done an extra 26 minutes worth of material, I did walk out to the person who booked me holding 2 bottles of champagne going, so sorry, these are yours now. And the rest of the gig was very different after that.
You're so good, though. I watched you in action earlier, and you're so good at talking to people and involving people in what you do. Your mind must be working at 100 miles an hour. You're doing material, but also working on who you're going to talk to and noticing people's outfits. How does that happen?
Again, I think it's just letting my mind be my mind, because I think if I can't, normal jobs don't work for me. So I'm weirdly praised for being an obnoxious, nosy little on stage with the microphone, and it's kind of nice. And I really like noticing people that have done something different or kind of paying attention. I like involving people. I just like doing live comedy is so good because you get to develop an atmosphere in the room, like a camaraderie, and it's just the best. And laughing is the most open and calm you can be. As a person, we only laugh when we're out of danger, because we're laughing at the danger or because we're comfortable enough to laugh. Because animals laugh. So rats, they found out rats laugh. And they laugh, but they can do it upside down if you tickle their belly, which is, for an animal, a very prone place to be. And laughter proves that they respect and like the people around them so much that they can put themselves in that position. It's my favorite.
Let's get back to your brilliant
Well,
songs
which
and You're
one's
My
next?
Pride Place. We've already heard from Daft Punk and Kylie and Ariana Grande. Let me take you to Pink Pony Club.
Oh my God! So we're all aware of Chapel Roan, yes? A meteoric rise from fame. I've known about her for a while because I know lesbians, and they've been on the Chapel Roan fan bus for a good long while. She sings songs again as a much younger than me, so much younger than me. And it's kind of fascinating for me to listen to her singing about escaping a small town, finding a queer utopia where she can be herself, and the fact that it's still an experience that all queer people go through is both weirdly heartening and also incredibly sad. We should be able to do it whenever, but there is an element of that euphoria, and also doing it so young, because you'll know, like I do, our queer creatives were much older when they were coming out with their queer stuff, because they had to wait until they could, like, even Boy George didn't come out to begin with. George Michael took his time. Like, the fact that Chapel Roan, so young, can be singing about these experiences and how she's dealt with them already. I can't wait to see what music she'll be making in 15 years when all the healing's been done and she can just sing about building that beauty without having to have that pain behind it. Just joy, just singing about joy. And queer joy should be given all the time it needs. It's my favorite thing.
And what do you think about, it's interesting, mention her, we've got to mention Heartstopper on Netflix.
Yeah.
Younger people now have so many more role models, and we didn't, I certainly we had nothing.
No,
it was a war zone when I was...
I came out the same time that Queer as Folk was on the telly. That was a big thing for me. And one of the other songs on the list is about that. It's Sexy Boy from Air.
Let's go into that. Should we go into Air?
The reason Sexy Boy from Air is in that is because right at the beginning of Queer as Folk, Nathan is walking down a corridor looking at boys' butts to Sexy Boy by Air, which is legitimately an incredibly sexy song. The French, yet again. And I was 15, and so was Nathan, and I was watching someone be outwardly queer in school. And it lit a fire under me that I had never felt ever before. And the idea that the thing that I was being yelled at for, because back then, being called gay, it's not about, I'm in a committed relationship, I'm in love with a man, I live with a man, and I love him with all my heart. That's not what it's about when you're 15 and being bullied for it. It's about the sex stuff. It's about the stuff that people don't want to talk about. When you come out to your parents, it's not, oh, I'm going to fall in love with and marry a man. It's, I am having sex or I'm about to have sex with another man. That's what they hear, that all the gross stuff, because of how we were spoken about, how it was broadcast. And it takes so much away from you as a human. It takes a word that's just what we're reduced to, that what they see as animalistic or gross. And just having it put in the face. Russell T Davies is incredible. Just going, yes, he's 15. He's looking at boys' butts in the same way that all the 15-year-old boys are looking at girls' boobs. That is what they're going to do. And just putting it on a par was, it was glorious.
And a game changer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was watching it at one volume with my finger over the button, but... It was a magical time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Alfie Templeman. I love Alfie Templeman.
Yes.
Tell me about this song. Tell me why you put him on.
So this is I think one of the newer ones on it. Alfie Templeman. I met my boyfriend just over 2 years ago, and Alfie Templeman is a beautiful, a very kind of metrosexual, very in touch with his feelings boy. And Colour Me Blue is about a song of I'm gonna let you practice being who you want to be with me. I can be who you want me to be at that point. Just let me know. Come in and tell me how you want me to be with you, and I will be there with you. And we'll be sad together. We'll be happy together. We'll glow up. And I'm my boyfriend's first ever boyfriend. He's 31, and he hadn't had a boyfriend before, and he didn't quite know how to fully give himself over to me. And this song spoke to us, and it became our song. And I brought him to Latitude 3 years ago. It was his first ever festival. He'd never gone to a festival. We'd hardly been going out. And I was like, I've got a spare ticket. Do you want to come to Latitude? That's terrifying. But he did like me, and he came, and Alfie opened the Obelisk, and we got to see him perform there, and it's beautiful. So it makes me think of my boyfriend. It makes me think of falling in love again after being in a longer relationship. Didn't think it would happen, and I'm very happy where I am now.
Oh,
and
I'm
it
so
makes me very
glad to
happy.
hear that.
Sorry to be gross. Apologies. But yeah, he's delightful. He's not watching this. He's watching something else. Oh, he's there. Hello. Oh my God, it was so nice about you because I thought you weren't in the room. Oh no!
Can we hear it for David's boyfriend?
That's
Yay!
Hi,
That's amazing. That's so great.
I'd have said something totally different if I knew you were here.
Do you want me to edit that bit out?
No,
the
it's
radio
fine.
Show?
Let them know.
Let me talk and ask you about this next artist who I love, Roisin Murphy.
Oh my God!
Now, there's been controversy over Roisin.
Yes.
We should mention this.
Yes.
Tell me what you think of this and her and stuff.
Look, I think... so I'm non-binary. I came out as non-binary way later than I came out as gay. And I have trans friends and everything. And I think it's so difficult to be going through this again with people... Because I truthfully believe, and I think probably agree with me, Ten, we're all trying to do our best, right? We are all just trying to do it, and people don't want to get it wrong, but I think it's such a toing and froing, and I know I'm coming at this from a place of privilege. I was born male, I'm white, my parents love me. I am unhappy with my gender, I know I'm not a boy, but my shape is fine. I don't want to change anything about my shape or my presentation. I think I would be more feminine had I not grown up as gay in the 90s and early noughties. I think I would have been allowed to indulge my feminine side a bit more. I think I would dress more gender fluid. But I'm relearning that now that I have the words for it. But I didn't have the vocabulary when I came out as gay. I think with Roisin, she's even older than I am. And I think she was trying her best and she got it a little bit wrong. And I think, especially when it's someone who is an ally to the queer community who makes a misstep, we can jump on them a bit hard. And it's so difficult to speak like this because you end up worrying about how people are going to take it. I think everyone generally tends to come with love. And I think that we came from a period where it was acceptability politics. Both of us will have fought really hard to fight against gay stereotypes so we wouldn't have been excluded, which isn't fair. We shouldn't have had to do that. And I think what's brilliant is looking at the younger queer people now, literally sticking their middle fingers up and going, oh, no, I'm just not going to give it, is delightful. But you also have to respect the people who, for that is terrifying to them. They are in a place where they will get beaten up for that in their heads. It might not happen, but they might. And it's still always there in the back of your head. And it makes people terrified, and it makes people apologize for things they shouldn't apologize for. Yeah. And I think that's where we are. But she makes fucking good music.
She is the queen of the banger,
so the song is Ramalama Bang Bang. Again, another nonsense song, like Call Me Mother by RuPaul. But again, it makes me feel like I'm 17 foot tall and everyone has to move out of my way. It is the best song to listen to on the tube, to get from one place to another. And it's so odd and dark. It feels like if queer people made really queer horror films, this is what the monster would appear to. It has like a creepy Halloween-y man. And I think Roisin's like spoken about what she said and is in a place. But again, it's okay to call people out. The person who ruins the dinner party isn't the person that says something is racist. It's the person that says something racist. And we have to figure out how to be okay with people saying that.
And if you get it wrong, it's okay to say, I'm sorry,
it's okay.
I got it wrong.
I mess up my pronouns on a regular basis. I'm terrible at it. I also don't care about other people messing my pronouns up. It's only if when I tell them, oh, it's they, them, if they make a big song and dance about it, oh, I'm going to be about it now. But if you're making an honest mistake, then that's perfectly fine.
Well, I've just been told
time
is up. You've got to go back on the stage.
Oh, hang on.
Thank you so much.
Yes. No, it's been delightful. Thank you so much.
Our first live show, David Morgan. You can see them on stage at the Comedy 10 right now.
Yes, in like 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.
Oh, it's the best. Thank you so much, everyone.
There
Bye-bye.
we go. Ladies and gentlemen of Latitude, thank you for joining us. You've been the best crowd. I'm Steve Denier from Virgin Radio Pride. Have the best Latitude. Thank you.